49ers. The Rams have dominated the series. They've won 20 times more than San Francisco and have had big streaks, but that's all that is. A big rivalry in the past, and these California teams get revved up when they play each other. 49ers have won 4 in a row after an opening game loss to Philadelphia. The Rams, as Wayne said, could very well be 5-0. They lost 2 close ones, one in overtime to the Jets, and of course the other game to Green Bay. Crowd is up for this game, and we hope you are too, as Wersching kicks off, and Redden will pick it up inside the 5, bobble it, and Redden will carry it out before Ron Ferrari drives him. And as a matter of fact, Redden almost drives Ferrari out to about the 16-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. Vince Ferragamo, the quarterback. The amazing Dickerson at running back. Mike Gooman is the H, or the U-back, as they call it here in L.A. And the wide receivers, Preston Denard and George Farmer. Bain, Hill, Smith, Hara, and Jackie Slater, who's playing the best up front at right tackle. Mike Barber is the tight end.
Dick, just a note, the 49ers, with their injuries, are starting Bobby Leopold, a linebacker, at safety. He hasn't played safety since he was in college at Notre Dame.
We'll pick that up, and it's the strong safety position. 1st and 10 at the 17. And to the air on 1st down for Ferragamo. He's got time, and over the top is Tim Collier. The intended receiver was George Farmer.
Tim Collier is making the start at the left cornerback in place of Ronnie Lott. He's an excellent coverage man with great speed, but he doesn't hit like Ronnie Lott. With LA's running game with Dickerson in there, they need Lott.
Hardy, Kugler, and Dwayne Board start when they go to the 3-4. Ricky Ellison, the rookie from USC. Jack Reynolds, a former Ram. Keena Turner, Willie Harper outside. And as you mentioned, Collier is starting at cornerback, and not Tom Homo, but Bobby Leopold at strong safety, Eric Wright, and Dwight Hitt.
But Homo's in there now on the 2nd play.
2nd and 10 at the 17. And a penalty flag is down. Bill Bain might have moved on the left side of the Rams line. There's our referee, Jerry Seymour.
False start, number 62.
And it is against Bill Bain, a 5-yard penalty. That'll make it 2nd and 15. Back at the 12-yard line.
False start, number 62, offense.
The 49ers are anxious to make amends for last year's finale when Ray Wersching's kick was blocked by Ivory Sully to knock the 49ers out of the playoffs. Morton Anderson's kick on the final play of the game gave the Saints their come-from-behind win over Atlanta. David Hill is in motion. And on play action, Ferragamo goes to Farmer, who drops the ball. He had it and let it get through. Do you think they'll work on Collier today?
Well, I think they'd probably know that he's a pretty good cover man, and if they're going to work on anybody, they're going to work on the strong safety, Tommy Holmo, a rookie, seeing his first action. And they've gone over here twice towards Collier's area, and he's been up to it both times.
This is a down the defense likes. 3rd and long, 15 to be exact. The ball back at the 12. As you mentioned, Wayne, Tom Holmo, the rookie from Brigham Young, number 28, is in there, and Ferragamo has his work cut out. Henry Ellard and Gordon Jones, wide receivers. Quick toss to Jones. Good catch by Gordon Jones, and Dwight Hicks drive him out of bounds, short of a 1st down at the 24-yard line. Gordon Jones, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, who was acquired before the New Orleans game, the 2nd game of the year, made a good catch here.
Nickel situation for the 49ers, and they blitzed their nickel back that time, Ray Blackmore, and that opened this up. Hicks had to come over and make the save.
So it is 4th down. The 49ers hold on the first defensive effort, and Dana McLemore, who has been hampered with a hamstring, back in action this week. Single safety, and John Misko punting for the Rams and gets off a good kick. McLemore at the 31. And clobbered at the 35-yard line. They'll probably spot it at the 36. And the play made by Mark Giroux. 49ers go on offense with the 3rd-rated quarterback in the NFC, Joe Montana. Bill Ring and Roger Craig, the depleted running back core. Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon outside. And the offensive line, they've been playing awfully well. Paris, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, Farnhorst, and Russ Francis, the tight end. 44-yard punt by John Misko, who has been averaging less than 40 yards a kick, and Montana brings it out 1st and 10. Goes to the air on 1st down. Swing pass to Roger Craig. And the rookie running back from Nebraska picks up 9 yards. Carl Eckern and Jimmy Collins, the inside linebackers, make the stop. And let's check out the Rams on defense. They too go with a 3-4. Something new for them. Instituted by John Robinson, the veteran Jack Youngblood, Greg Meisner, the nose tackle, Reggie Doss, Mel Owens, Collins and Eckern, who made the tackle, and George Andrews, who's played the best of all the Yale linebackers. Harris, Irvin, Johnson, and Cromwell in the secondary, and Harris is playing for the injured Kirk Collins. 2nd down, call it 2 at the 44. Bill Ring, 1st down. Off the right side, Collins makes the tackle. So Wayne without Wendell Tyler, who is out with a dislocated shoulder. They expect him back next week, and Carl Monroe, the rookie, who is injured. They've got to go with these two, Craig and Ring.
Oh, they're both solid backs. They're not Wendell Tyler. You know, Wendell Tyler's the kind of guy you can stop him 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and then he'll break one for about 30, 40 yards on you. These guys don't have that speed and that quickness.
And you can add Jeff Moore to the injury-riddled backfield for the 49ers. 1st and 10 at the 46, and on play action, Montana is going up top for Dwight Clark. He was covered well in the secondary by Eric Harris and Johnny Johnson. Double coverage on Dwight Clark.
Clark, of course, runs a lot of option patterns, Dick. He goes out there and reads the defense and can pull it up and pivot and keep going. And that time he and Montana misread each other because he was going to run a pass pattern towards the post, and Montana overthrew him long towards the corner.
Mike Wilson, number 85, replaces Clark after that long charge downfield for this down. It is 2nd and 10. Montana, quick toss to Wilson. It was high, and he got a hand on it. Incomplete. Joe Montana told us the other day that it's going to be awfully strange coming out to look at a Ram defense that doesn't have Pat Thomas and Rod Perry, that plays the 3-4.
And being in the 3-4 defense. He says the Rams are playing excellent defense. And they've always got Jack Youngblood to apply pressure.
3rd down 10. Because of the injuries, the 49ers will use a lot of one-back offense. Monty Jackson is the nickel. Bill Ring is there to block. And Montana's pass is dropped by Freddie Solomon. He would have been shy of a 1st down by 7 yards anyway. George Andrews, the linebacker, was covering. So the Rams, like the 49ers, stop on defense the 1st time.
I think both teams just trying to get the feel of this game. The Rams came out, of course, with Eric Dickerson, their great rookie running back, and didn't get him the ball their first sequence. But you can bet that now they will.
Tom Morris, the punter. Numbers won't knock you over, averaging 38.7. But the longest return has been only 11 yards. Johnny Johnson and Leroy Irvin, one of the premier punt returners, Irvin is, back for the Rams. 12:57 remaining, 1st quarter, no score. 4th and 10. Tom Morris, former Miami Dolphin, looking for the sidelines, and it goes out of bounds at the 24. Joe Montana on the phone upstairs, and so each team has had a try, and they've come up empty, and so we have a timeout in the 1st quarter following the 29-yard punt by Tom Morris. There are a lot of former USC players on the 49ers going against John Robinson, and Jack Reynolds is a former LA Ram. 11 of his 14 years against LA. Number 64, the inside linebacker, who doesn't need much incentive when he goes against the Rams. 1st and 10 at the 24. Dickerson, the lone back, and in motion is the U-back, David Hill, and the pass is out to Preston Denard, and Eric Wright's not going to let him get away. Eric Wright making the play, and John Robinson, who's still one of the people in this league, I guess, who doesn't maybe take it as seriously. He does take football seriously, but not to the extent that it's life and death.
Nice relaxed attitude he has. Ronnie Lott, who has played for both of them, John Robinson and Bill Walsh, said they're a lot alike. Relaxed attitude. They expect a lot, but don't put a lot of pressure on you.
Vince Ferragamo has thrown 6 touchdown passes, but 10 interceptions so far this year. So after the 3-yard gain, it's 2nd and 7, and here's Dickerson with his first carry of the ball game, and he stopped at the 29. Picks up 2, And it was Ricky Ellison and Willie Harper, a couple of linebackers, that make the stop.
Harper made a good play. He closed it down fairly well as the big guard pulls right here. Kent Hill. Ellison comes inside and makes the fill, and you people down in Southern California will remember Ricky Ellison as Ricky Gray when he played for the Trojans.
There he is, and he also is anxious to go against not only John Robinson but Marv Gu, who's coach at USC, who is the line coach for the Rams. Don't forget, it was only a year ago he played there. 3rd and 5 at the 29 for the Rams. Ferragamo is looking for Henry Ellard, who didn't have possession. And Tim Collier knocked him 5 yards past the photographers in the sideline.
You may be right at who they're going after, because they've gone after Collier 3 times now, Dick.
And they like Ellard, who came back last week. They like his speed.
Collier, as we said, has got great speed, too. Good reaction right here. He's up there about as good as you can be as a defensive back, making contact as the ball gets there.
John Misko, who got up a 44-yard kick his first try, will punt from the 15. Dana McLemore back at the 25 for the 49ers. Another good high kick. And a superb kick. McLemore is back inside the 20, and he's not going to get far. Both of these teams are primed, as you can see. Otis Grant, rookie wide receiver, made sure that McLemore wouldn't get away, and so Joe Montana will bring his team out just inside the 20-yard line when we come back. 11:43 remaining in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 19 for Joe Montana. In motion is Russ Francis, and here's Roger Craig. Can't get underway. Bill Walsh told us last week, Wayne, before the New England game, and again the other day, that he expects Roger Craig to burst out and really have something close to a 100-yard game, and said it last week, didn't happen. Now he's hoping it's this week.
He thinks that Craig has the ability to go over 100 yards 4 or 5 times during the season. A little concerned with his running right now. He hasn't learned how to use his blockers well enough yet. He says he crowds the guards on the sweeps and doesn't play off their blocks quite correctly yet.
First pick for the Niners on the 2nd round. 2nd and 9 at the 20. Montana will go to the air, and he's going to go deep for Freddie Solomon, who beats the defense, but the pass is overthrown. He had beaten Eric Harris. And Freddie Solomon, the big play receiver for the 49ers, just couldn't get to it.
49ers have done this in a couple ball games this year. Strike early with Solomon. He had a step or two here. A flag down on that play, by the way. Montana overthrew him by about a step.
Offsides called against L.A. And that'll salvage something. We'll bring it out to the 25-yard line.
Encroachment, number 58, defense, lined up in the neutral zone.
That's Mel Owens, the linebacker. Let's check some scores right now for you. Busy day in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns defeat the New York Jets 10-7. Minnesota over the Chicago Bears. It was Washington with ease over the St. Louis Cardinals. And Detroit in a big surprise over the Green Bay Packers. 2nd and 4 at the 25. Montana to throw. He's got Nehemiah in there. He's going for Dwight Clark, and Clark can't make the play. Leroy Irvin was with him all the way and actually made contact as the ball got there.
Because of the running back situation, Dick, Bill Walsh that time did not have a running back in the game. Mike Wilson, the backup wide receiver, Dwight Clark, actually lined up at the halfback spot.
3rd and 10. Bill Walsh, who lost twice in head-to-head battles with John Robinson when they were in the college ranks. Walsh, of course, at Stanford, and Robinson at USC. John Robinson, who has revived the Rams considerably. 3rd down and 4 at the 25. Montana under pressure, gets it away to Bill Ring. First down, close to midfield. Bill Ring can do it all.
Bill Ring checking for a blitz, none coming. So when Montana rolled out, he filtered through the line. Montana finds him. That's what he does so well. Montana says when he rolls out and gets in trouble like that, he looks for someone to adjust to him. Bill Ring did.
One of the great overachievers in the National Football League, averaging more than 5.5 yards per carry. He's had 1 million tryouts. Glad to be with the 49ers. Nehemiah, number 83, is in flank to the left. Quick pass to Mike Wilson, and he's close to a first down. Nolan Cromwell makes the hit on Mike Wilson, who had 1 touchdown reception each of the last 2 years, and last season it was against these Rams. One thing John Robinson said, you don't want to see the Niners get the hot hand and start to roll on offense.
Well, he said if they do get the hot hand and his team just has to stick with them through that period of time and don't feel that, he says the 49ers will move the ball and they'll score quick, and you can't get down just because that happens, because it'll happen a couple times in the ball game against them. So you got to stay with them the whole 60 minutes. He's got a team that I know will, because he's got him playing extremely well.
And the Niners have the first down. 1st and 10, San Francisco on the Rams 41. We have 9:54 remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker here at Candlestick Park. No score. Keep in mind that the 49ers are the highest scoring team in the NFL, averaging some 33 points a game. Nehemiah Clark out left. Charlie DeJournay, number 70, moves in at nose tackle, 4-man line, and here is Roger Craig. Craig dives forward inside the 40, picks up 3. Tackle made by Eric Harris and Carl Eckern.
Roger Craig.
Craig is the 2nd leading rusher coming into the game with 182 yards to Tyler's 295, but he has only averaged a little over 3 yards a carry.
He was the tailback at Nebraska before Rozier. And when that man came on the scene, Craig had to be switched to fullback. He can run from the tailback spot, as he just showed you.
And after Redwine, 2nd down 7 at the Rams 38-yard line. Montana gets it off to Nehemiah. First down, San Francisco. Out of bounds at the 27.
There is no one on the field with speed quite like number 83 right there, Ronaldo Nehemiah, the former world record holder in the hurdles, and people respect that, and this opens up that particular area for him. They play him a little bit loose, and he runs them deep and then makes a comeback move. He's been very successful in that 12 to 15-yard area.
That was an 11-yard pickup. 1st and 10, 49ers at the 27 of the Rams. And here's the pitch back. Ring, Montana, and a screen to the tight end, Russ Francis. And Francis fumbles inside the 20. And it's the Rams recover. Russ Francis fumbled after catching that flea flicker. Leroy Irvin recovered the fumble for the Rams on the first turnover of the ball game.
Usually when you see that flea flicker, the option for the quarterback is to go deep downfield. This time Montana looked downfield, tried to look everybody off, and then go to a tight end screen with Russ Francis over on the left side. Planned play, because Dick Stockton and I saw them working this play on Friday in practice. Back to Montana. He looks downfield, tries to get people to go that way, and then you see the screen set up out here. That was John Ayers in front of Francis. Francis with the ball out and a good hit. It looked like number 58 Mel Owens came in from the side and knocked that ball loose.
It was Owens. Here he comes, 58.
Stripped it right out of there.
So the 49ers were rolling, but they're brought up short on the turnover, and with still no score, LA will take over on offense. In an unusual turn of events, there's no quarterback controversy with the Rams this year. John Robinson handed the job to Vince Ferragamo early on, and he's tried to build a team around here. 1st and 10, LA on the 19. And here's Dickerson. And he doesn't get much, couple of yards. John Hardy, the left end, who's awfully big in his 3rd year, makes the stop on Eric Dickerson. 49ers, of course, aware of Dickerson's ability, and I guess they said you got to get as many people the ball as possible.
They thought the crucial thing about playing against him was to make hits, contact at the line of scrimmage, because if he gets past the line of scrimmage and gets in your secondary, he is trouble.
Picked up 4 there. It is 2nd and 6. Fred Dean is in the game. The roving linebacker. Keena Turner is out of there at the 23. In motion is Mike Gooman, who's the U-back. Ferragamo looking downfield, finds David Hill, who catches it, and it should be good for a first down. Ricky Ellison makes the stop on David Hill. So far, John Robinson likes this man's blocking, although against the Saints we saw him catch a touchdown pass.
David Hill has been a fine acquisition for the Rams, coming over from Detroit. Has helped them a lot. He runs that move back position back there where he can block, he can trap over the middle, he can lead on the sweep, and if need be, he gets out very quickly in pass patterns.
Former Detroit Lion who was unhappy there. This is the first down for the Rams, by the way, and it comes with now 7:20 to go in the first quarter. Ferragamo looking to throw, dumps it off this time to Mike Barber, and Barber still on his feet, drives forward out of bounds at the 41. You know, we talk about the communication that Montana has with Clark, but Ferragamo has established that with Mike Barber as well.
Barber is the leading receiver for the Rams, and Barber says he can tell by the way, as you watch him here, he'll delay and then out in the flat. Barber says he can tell by the way Montana delivers the ball to him whether he's going to be able to run after he makes the catch. If Ferragamo pours it in there, he says, I know I'm going to get hit right away. If he puts a little bit of touch on it to me, I know I can turn around and run with the ball, and you saw there was some touch on that one. They talk without talking.
That's good communication. Second down and 1 at the 41 now. Bobby Leopold is in at strong safety now and showing blitz right now. And here he comes, but Dickerson's going the other way. Dives forward, penalty marker down. Dickerson has a first down at the 45, but let's wait and see. And it'll go against the Rams. Holding. 7:01 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Between these two teams that have gone at it twice a year since 1950.
Illegal use of hands. Number 56. Offense.
That's the center, Doug Smith. He replaced Rich Saul last year at center. Denver in the fourth quarter. Steve DeBerg replacing John Elway this week. Dallas over Tampa Bay early. 5-0 and against 0-5. Overtime in Miami. Buffalo and Miami tied. And Baltimore leading New England. Second and 11 at the 31. Ferragamo. Hardy was giving him a rush, and this pass to Henry Ellard, and no flag. Incidental contact between Ellard and Tim Collier. And when you were talking about Tim Collier's speed, he really showed it there against Henry Ellard, who they think easily is their fastest wide receiver, and sooner or later is going to take over for George Farmer at flanker.
Collier ran a 9.400 in college. East Texas State.
Ellard was a second-round draft choice from Fresno State. Played for the first time last week after suffering an injury against the Giants.
The last part of it right here, and you can see Collier in perfect shape on the sideline.
The newest 49er, Richard Blackmore, is in as a nickel back, number 44 for San Francisco. 3rd and 11 at the 31. And Ferragamo gets away from trouble and fumbles. It's still loose. And the Niners have recovered. Tina Turner. For a while, it looked as if Ferragamo had escaped some severe danger with John Hardy coming in, but Tina Turner recovered the fumble, and the Niners are in L.A. territory.
49ers had a blitz on. You see 54 Ferrari coming in. Turner right there. He's the one that gets a hand on him first. Vince loses the ball there, can't come up with it. And Turner on the follow gets the recovery. Ferragamo may have knocked that ball out with his knee because he was breaking into the open when the ball came out. No score, but the 49ers are now in business.
Each side has coughed the ball up, but now the 49ers are in Ram territory. 1st and 10 at the 35 with 6:46 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Bill Ring on an inside handoff, and almost a collision between Montana and Bill Ring, and that could have been disaster.
John Ayers, the guard, was pulling and ran into Montana that time. But Montana keeps his composure in those situations. Remember, Dick, we did the game last week against New England, and his first 2 attempts to pass Montana, he tripped and fell going back. They were recorded as sacks. On his 3rd attempt, he completed about a 12-yarder and came back in the huddle and told the team, he said, if I can just stand up, guys, that's the way we'll move the ball all day.
Why not? Jimmy Collins, Carl Eckern, inside backers made the stop. 2nd and 8 at the 32. Pitches to Roger Craig, and Craig is thrown for a loss. Carl Eckern once again When we did the game with the Saints, Carl Eckern's name was mentioned more than any other player. If anyone has played up to his maximum, according to the Rams, it is Carl Eckern in his 7th year from San Jose State. He's coming off a knee surgery.
Made some big hits, and he said the adjustment to the 3-4 for him from the 4-3 wasn't all that bad, because with so many teams in the league using a 3-4 defense in practice the last couple of years, they were playing the other team's defenses, and he got used to it that way.
3rd and 11 now at the 36-yard line. Nehemiah is a wing back to the left, and Freddie Solomon is wide right. And Montana's gone down. Charlie Desjardins and Reggie Doss were both there, and it was Doss who will get credit for the sack out of Hampton Institute.
Remember, we talked to John Robinson last night. He said, we asked him, who's playing good for you? He said Reggie Doss is having a fine year. He came from the outside that time, working against a big tackle, Bubba Paris, who was actually a rookie. Although he's in his 2nd year, he didn't play last year, and it had him beat right away.
Full-time starter for only the first time last year is Reggie Doss. So now the punting team is in. Leroy Irvin on the right and Johnny Johnson on the left. Tom Morris will punt from the 42-yard line. 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. Still no score. Hesitate a little bit, and this is headed for the corner. Does it go to the end zone first? It stops at the 1 and goes in. It'll be a touchback. A touchback, and the Rams will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. We'll be back to Candlestick Park. He doesn't have great speed and not a big threat, but Mike Gooman, a solid, good blocker, is a danger out of the backfield for the Rams and could catch the deep one if he can get through.
Alternates with David Hill at that move back spot. And John Robinson likes him a lot.
They're at the 20. Ferragamo's toss is caught by Preston Denard and out of bounds. Eric Wright made sure he stayed there. Preston Denard, leading receiver the last 2 years for the Rams, and one of the favored receivers, if not the favorite, for Ferragamo.
Coming back off an ankle injury. He was injured in the opening win against the New York Giants when Lawrence Taylor came in and got him on a late hit.
Final score, Denver defeats Houston. We'll give you 2 more after this play. 2nd and 3 at the 26. Here's Dickerson, and Dickerson gets past one, breaks almost Holmo's tackle, but will have the first down anyway. And Eric Dickerson brings it out to the 36-yard line and has a first down for the LA Rams, and almost broke Tom Holmo's safety's tackle.
Well, that's what John Robinson said about him. He said he'll take a 1-yard loss and turn it into a 4-yard gain, and turn a 4-yard gain into a 9-yard gain. He also broke a tackle by Jack Reynolds just across the line of scrimmage on that last play. 1st and 10
at the 36. It's all Dickerson, really. If you look at the offense, coming into the game, carried the ball 106 more times than Barry Redden, the second running back. In motion, David Hill, the U-back, and Dickerson this time off the left side, and it takes the converted safety Bobby Leopold and company to help wrestle him down at the 42. And David Hill, the U-back, with a good block. When we talk about the U-back, what do we mean? Each team has different names for this.
David Lewis right there. He was in motion, blocking up the middle now. And you see the cut by Dickerson. And number 45 is Leopold, who is normally a linebacker, playing at strong safety in situations today for the 49ers because they know he'll force on the run extremely well.
There is Black Shoes Bobby Leopold. Everyone will wear the different kinds of footwear, but Leopold will wear the black footwear, and he changed his number from number 52 to 45 for this game. There you see the black shoes, and an injured 49er is nose tackle Pete Kugler. Kugler has played awfully well. In fact, Bill Walsh said maybe better than he ever thought he would play, but he has to be helped off here. Jack Youngblood, who's 33 years old, and his longtime battles with Keith Farnhorst we'll tell you more about as this game goes on.
Farnhorst, the offensive tackle, has played against Youngblood 19 times regular season.
Here's Jeff Stover, a second-year free agent from Oregon, who's a raw talent, didn't play college football. His background is in track, actually field with discus in the shot put, so he now has to play nose tackle. as the Rams come out 2nd and 4 on their 42-yard line. No score, 3:38 in the first quarter remaining. The U-back. David Hill is in motion, and up the middle, Barber has the catch into San Francisco territory, and another first down for the Rams. Jack Reynolds makes the tackle, and so Ferragamo is nickel and diming the 49ers right now and moving it well.
He uses Barber a lot that way, but Barber can run, can get deep on you. A lot of people underestimate his speed.
8 and 9.
John Robinson, Jeff Kemp, Steve Fuller, the other quarterbacks. There is Fuller, number 4, who, by the way, was a roommate at Clemson at college with Dwight Clark. 1st and 10 at the 49 now. In the 49er territory, Ferragamo going in the air, and he's going to go deep for Ellard. He was hit after he let go of it, and Collier makes the interception for the 49ers. At the 7. Second interception of the year for Tim Collier. The first one, he ran back for a touchdown.
About the 4th or 5th time in this ball game that the Rams and Vince Ferragamo have gone after Tim Collier over here on the corner. This ball was overthrown considerably here. Ellard is number 80. If Collier doesn't get this ball, it looks like number 22 Hicks could have come over and made the play from center field and free safety.
And a terrific pass rush by John Hardy really disrupted that play. So Tim Collier, former St. Louis Cardinal, who returned an interception against his ex-team earlier this year, brings the ball back to the 49ers as Bill Ring carries past the 11 yards on first down. Gain of 3. Jim Collins and Mel Owens make the stop.
If you're going to have an interception, though, and if there is such a thing as a good interception, that was for the Rams, because it did pin the 49ers back inside their 10-yard line. Ferragamo has had numerous interceptions this year, but John Robinson says that, he doesn't want him to quit attacking. He doesn't get on him about it.
Solomon and Clark come out to the left. Almost like a punt, that kind of an interception. In motion goes Bill Ring. 2nd down and 7, and here's Roger Craig, who slips on the grass. At the 11-yard line, Mel Owens plays tag with him. Here's Tim Collier, who originally was with the Kansas City Chiefs before going to St. Louis. Comes out of Dallas. In fact, comes out of that South Oak Hills High School that produced so many great pros.
He started at both Kansas City and with the Cardinals, so he's a veteran out there.
This is the first game that the 49ers have played where they have sodded the infield, where the baseball's Giants have played.
Shades of 2 years ago, too, when this field was getting a lot of bad publicity, and you just saw Roger Craig slip on a cut.
3rd down 7 at the 11-yard line. Montana batted down at the line by George Andrews. So Andrews, top-notch linebacker who has really emerged, has knocked it down. It'll be 4th down. But right now, for an NFL Today update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
For the 6th straight week, the Dallas Cowboys will have to come from behind. Thompson goes to Owens, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead 10-7. And let's go back now to Dick and Wayne.
All right, Brent will be following that game as well as the Eagle-Giant battle going on. Tom Orris will punt from his end zone, and Leroy Irvin is a single safety at midfield. Good kick by Tom Orris, and Irvin's going to go way back to his 30. And upended at the 40-yard line, and Ron Ferrari gives a little Mark Gastineau dance after knocking Irvin to the sky. A 59-yard punt by Tom Orris.
Ferrari, 54, is usually the first one down. Earl Cooper, number 89, right there with him as Irvin starts upfield. And it was Ferrari who made the initial hit.
Doesn't he usually?
Oh, he's a kamikaze. That's how he made the team last year. Ferrari played for Mike White at Illinois. White called the 49er coaches and said, if you just draft this kid, I'll guarantee you he'll make your team on special teams. They spent a number 7 on him. He not only made the team on special teams, he now starts in their nickel defense.
1st and 10 at the 40 for the Rams. No score, 1:09 remaining in the first quarter. And Eric Dickerson cutting inside, and Jim Stuckey was right there to stick him. If you take a look at the 49ers up front, they really have little to choose from for who's effective. They use 6 guys basically, and of course Kugler out of there cuts it down. Fred Dean, a rotating linebacker, but they got Board and Hardy and Pillars and Stuckey, and they all seem to do the job.
They're all around 255 pounds. They're all about 6'4", and they all have the same quickness and speed. Those are their assets. They don't have any real great big strong defensive linemen that you sit out there and stuff people, so they move around and they're quick.
At the 43 now. Half a minute remaining in the first quarter. The U-back, David Hill, is in motion. Ferragamo has enough time. He drills this one, and Tim Collier tips it away from Ellers. What an extraordinary performance in this first quarter by Tim Collier.
Amazing coverage. You just can't do it any better than that. He made a move on that ball when it was in the air, went around the receiver and got a hand on it without making contact.
The 49ers have been awfully fortunate with Carlton Williamson out with a broken leg and Rick Jervis, his replacement, who played well, now injured. Now they're going to their depth again, and Collier's coming through for him, as you saw in that play.
They're at the bottom of the cupboard now, though. I'll tell you, they can't afford to get anybody else hurt back there.
John Hardy is shaken up. We saw Kugler helped off before. So the injuries continue for the 49ers. Dickerson inside, fumbles. The whistle might have blown. Let's see. No, the whistle had blown. In any event, it'll be 4th down, and Fred Dean made the hit on Eric Dickerson. There he is. And Mike Barber recovered the fumble, but they ultimately ruled no fumble. Dickerson so far has gained 25 yards in 6 carries in the first quarter. And that's doing a pretty good job, isn't it?
Yes, but he's a time bomb. You know, it's just a time bomb. It's like the old days when there was Jim Brown and Gale Sayers and those people. You stop them for a while, but you can't stop them all day.
That's the end of the first quarter here at Candlestick Park. No score between the Rams and the 49ers. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker back at Candlestick Park. John Misko, who had tryouts with the Bills and the Jets before sticking with the Rams, will punt from his 30-yard line, and Dana McLemore is back for the 49ers. No score as we start the second quarter. Ball bounces at the 20 and takes a Ram roll and will be down inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the National Football League is prohibited. The 49ers have started 3 of their 5 possessions inside their own 20, and the last 2 at the 8 and now the 7-yard line. So they've got a long way to go, not making life easy for Montana.
The Ram defense is doing a fine job today on every occasion out there.
Ring and Craig are the backs. Montana putting it up to Dwight Clark, overthrown. Eric Harris covering on the play. For the 49ers, with no points in the first quarter, came into this game with 164, but their great success this year has been the second period when they've outscored teams 69-16. This has been their quarter. Joe Montana, 3rd rated this week in the NFC behind Steve Bartkowski and Lynn Dickey. Niners have rushed for only 9 yards so far in the game. Pass for 61. 2nd and 10 at the 7, and they're going to try and pick up some yardage on the ground. Roger Craig is hit at about the 10 by Leroy Irvin, forcing well from the cornerback position. Craig started the game, or started the season, as a fullback and having to switch to running back because of the injury to Wendell Tyler. Tampa Bay continues to lead the Cowboys in the second quarter, and the Eagles, after trailing early, now lead the Giants 7-3. Kansas City in a shocker so far over the LA Raiders, and Seattle leading San Diego. 3rd down and 6. The ball at the 10. And they're going to give it to Roger Craig, who's not going anywhere. George Andrews, among others, gang up on him. So Montana tried to switch. Normally he doesn't run the ball at 3rd and 6. And right now this ball game has turned out to be a defensive battle, at least through the opening minutes of the second quarter.
I think they have each other pretty well handled out there. No one has fooled anybody so far, and it's just been a game at the line of scrimmage. through the first quarter and then 2 minutes into the second one.
Charlie Desjardins is on the ground for the Rams. There have been 3 turnovers in the game. Each side has fumbled once, and Tim Collier intercepted a pass for the 49ers. Niners 4-1, having won 4 straight. And John Robinson coming out to check on his injured nose tackle. But right now, while we have a moment, let's go for an NFL Today update, and that'll be Brent Musburger in New York. What have you got, Brent?
Dick Ron Jaworski still has a hot hand for the Philadelphia Eagles, and his favorite receiver is Mike Quick. Here is Quick making a splendid catch against the Giants, and now the Eagles lead at 7-3. Back to Dick.
Thank you, Brent. We saw Mike Quick in the opening game of the year for the Eagles do pretty well against the 49ers. Leroy Irvin is back in safety, and Tom Morris punting for the second time from his own end zone. The last time he kicked it out 59 yards. Not quite as long, and Irvin has a chance to run it back at the 49. Leroy Irvin turns the corner. Penalty flag is down as Irvin is knocked out of bounds at the 33 by Eric Wright.
I think the Rams special team that time just did an excellent job on the 2 wide out of the 49ers. They doubled him up, kept him on the line of scrimmage. When Irvin caught that ball, there wasn't a 49er within 20-25 yards of him.
Those are tough kicks, those low line drive kicks. And Leroy Irvin can each up with those. There's that, what is now becoming a commonplace foul, an illegal block on the receiving team following the kick return. We have no score. Just started the second quarter, 13-14 to go. Here's Jerry Seaman.
Illegal block during the return, number 54, receiving team.
Howard Carson for the Rams. And we're going to take a timeout right now. The Rams, a game behind the 49ers in the NFC West. No score, second quarter. Rams have done a whale of a job on defense against the high-scoring 49ers, holding them scoreless so far as you look at them on the sidelines. And right now the offense is in its best position, field position all day, as they start out at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. It's their deepest penetration. And Vince Ferragamo with Eric Dickerson, the setback. Mike Gooman is the U-back, and here is Dickerson. Look at that move Dickerson put on at the line of scrimmage to avoid being tackled right there. Instead, he picks up a good 5 yards. Eric Wright makes the stop, and there's that cutback ability that Dickerson has that really worries the Niners.
Yeah, and look at the block that Dennis Hare, number 60, got on a blitzing Keena Turner, number 58, right here, that wiped him out. Dickerson cut up in behind that block. That was the key right there, but this guy doesn't go down without falling forward for a couple more.
He's listed at 218. He's up to 227, and they say eventually he'll be playing at 235. It'll be tougher to bring down. Pete Kugler is back in nose tackle, number 67 for the 49ers. It is 2nd and 6 on the 43 for the Rams. Pitch to Dickerson. He's got Hara blocking. And Eric trying to move forward is shy of a first down by about a yard.
Going to bread and butter now, aren't they? They try to throw the ball around a little bit their first few possessions, and that hasn't worked. So you just got to give it to 29 and make sure he gets it 30 times a game. So I think that's what we'll see on this drive.
Willie Harper made the stop on Eric Dickerson, who's from Sealy, Texas. And his Longhorns, of course, he's from SMU, with the Longhorns of Johnny Johnson, victorious yesterday over Oklahoma. Eric Dickerson has gained 35 yards now in 8 carries, and it is 3rd and 1. At the 38 of the 49ers. Dickerson. Stop short. And Ricky Ellison. Is he fired up or what?
Ricky Ellison and Leopold in there again, number 45. So that strategy seems to be paying off for the 49ers. Ellison, the inside linebacker post, along with Jack Reynolds, stays behind the play. Now watch Dickerson cut back here. 69 will get the first hit, and then 45 on top right there, Leopold. Leopold's like having another linebacker in the game, although he is playing safety.
So the Rams are now 0-5 on 3rd down opportunities, and with 4th down, John Misko will punt, and Dana McLemore is up at the 10-yard line. 10:55, clock running, 2nd quarter, 0-0. Short kick. But it takes a Ram bounce, and they're going to down it inside the 5. In fact, how's the 1? Otis Grant just said thank you very much. Eric Dickerson. They compare him to Chuck Muncie with perhaps his size. Marcus Allen with his just all-around ability, and maybe O.J. Simpson with his burst of speed.
Yeah, but you know, in a year or two, they'll just be calling him Eric Dickerson. They won't have to compare him to anybody because he's going to make his name on his own, and he's got the ability to do it.
Yeah, maybe the franchise is right. We have a timeout. Well, Dana McLemore was on the other side of the field, so he couldn't catch this as Misko hit it off almost the side of his foot, and so it was really made to order for the Rams. Just a circumstantial kick that paid off for L.A.
Exactly.
The 49ers' last 3 possessions have started from the 8, the 7, and now the 1-yard line. Montana rolling out in the end zone. And Freddie Solomon has it for the first down at the 23-yard line. Eric Harris defending.
Planned rollout by Montana. Practically, they call it a dash, a couple steps straight back, and then rollout action. Watch the job that Solomon does, keeping his feet in. Makes the catch, and then drags them both. Great throw, great catch.
Second leading receiver, Freddie Solomon, on the 49ers. 1st and 10 at the 22. Going way out in motion is Roger Craig, and Montana looking right, going up the middle to Russ Francis, who fumbles again. This time the 49ers recover, and Bill Ring was right there. So twice today, Russ Francis has fumbled the ball after catching and being hit, and this time Ring fortunately was there.
I think Francis is going to get the message that there's some hitting going on out there today. That's the second time he's been brought off the football.
And that would have been most unfortunate because the Rams would have been in golden position. Second down and 6. Ring comes off. Roger Craig. See a lot of one-back offense. And Bill Walsh had a necessity today. 9:35 remaining in the first half. No score. Roger Craig hit on the left side. Jimmy Collins, the inside linebacker. Collins has replaced Jim Youngblood, of course, in the left inside backer spot, mostly because Youngblood, moving along in age, is 33. But Collins, who replaced Eckern last year, he's out of Syracuse in his 3rd year. They like him because he's quicker and hits harder, and I think he's going to be there a while.
He's had some injury problems in the past, but he legitimately won the job this year and is playing well.
So Jim Youngblood moves to backup, and Collins is in there. Earl Cooper is also in there at tight end number 89, as is Russ Francis. 2 tight ends. 3rd and 4 for Montana. And he's got Cooper. And Cooper has a first down at the 40. They're yelling Coop. He changed his number from 49 to 89, and 3 of his 10 receptions have been for scores this year.
And he changed his position from fullback to tight end, and he's one of the best right now at running after he gets the ball, using his old skills as a fullback and a running back in college. Good effort by Earl Cooper.
An 11-yard pickup for Earl Cooper. Jack Youngblood made the stop. 1st and 10 at the 40. No score. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Bill Ring looking for room to give him, and he'll take it. Picks up 8 yards. And George Andrews stops it.
Number 30 is kind of the people's choice here at Candlestick. He's kind of a blue-collar worker that they like. Watch Ring, number 30, straight ahead blocking here. Play designed to go up the middle. Puts his head down and just always keeps his legs moving. Keeps that forward drive.
Bill Ring, they like him fresh toward the end of the game, wouldn't they?
He's a guy that they use in their possession situations towards the end of the game.
2nd down and 2, and Ring goes in motion. And they give it to Roger Craig, who has the first down into Ram territory at the 47-yard line. And so I think the 49ers want to be like the Rams. They want to churn it out with good old-fashioned running. Reggie Doss, Jim Collins finally stop it.
Well, people were highly critical of the San Francisco offensive line at the beginning of the year, and one of the national magazines said, in fact, you know, for run blocking that the 49er line probably couldn't punch a hole in a screen door. They took umbrage to that. Didn't like it at all. As you look at Keith Fahnhorst, number 71, he'll be lining up against Jack Youngberg.
From that point on, boy, they've protected Montana well and have opened up holes. Fumble. And the Rams have recovered. And a misconnection between the center, Brett Quillen, and the quarterback, Joe Montana. And there's the man, Jimmy Collins, who recovers for the LA Rams. And so what was turning out to be a glorious drive for the 49ers, starting at their own 1 and moving into Ram territory, some 52 yards, is now all down the drain.
Watch the snap now. Fred Quillen, the center, to Montana. There'll be a guard pulling here. It's Ayers over there, but he didn't have any effect. The ball was already on the ground, so it wasn't him that knocked the ball away from Montana. Just bad connection between the center and quarterback.
We have had 4 turnovers, and they're all even now at 2-2. No one has dented the goal line. 6:23 to go, but now it's the Rams' opportunity close to midfield. We'll be back. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. An interesting game of field position because the 49ers have started the last 3 times inside their 10. And the Rams have begun from their own 40, the 49ers 47, and now their own 46. So they've really had a field position edge. Vince Ferragamo. The U-back Gooman in motion. And Ferragamo. And that's caught by Denard. No, it's incomplete now. It's incomplete, and Preston Denard came out of that pile. It'll go incomplete, touch the ground. I want to tell you about those 2 excellent horse races next week, the Jockey Club Gold Cup and Champagne Stakes.
Devil's Bag, a young 2-year-old colt. They call him the strapping colt.
Yes, they do.
He's strong.
And the 2-year-old sensation, leading candidate for Horse of the Year honors. So join us. Should be 2 very special races next Saturday on CBS Sports, 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 Pacific. That's the time for the Jockey Club Gold Cup races next week on CBS Sports Special. Ferragamo is 6 for 13 now for 50 yards. He has thrown 1 interception. 2nd and 10, gets it out to Denard again with a blocker in front of him. And Denard and Eric Wright fighting off the block of Kent Hill, number 72, made a good play on Denard.
Well, it was good deception up front that time by the Rams, too. They took their left offensive tackle, Bill Bain, and pulled him to the right. He goes across. Kent Hill came out, number 72, and gets a block here on right. Denard in behind, and it's good yardage.
3rd down and 3 for the Rams at the 47. The 49ers in first place. They know that the Saints have already beaten the Falcons. And if the Rams win, we'll have a 3-way tie for first place in the division. Ferragamo's pass, and Henry Ellard, the intended receiver. Collier covering on the play. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
49ers made a last-minute change defensively that time. Tim Collier was late getting on the field over on that cornerback spot, and I think Ferragamo saw that and was a little bit anxious and threw the ball a little soon.
McLemore from the University of Hawaii was a 10th round draft choice. Made the team basically for his special teams abilities and led the Niners in kickoff and returns. Punt returns. John Misko from Oregon State picking it away. Good high spiral, and this one will sail into the end zone and out of the end zone. That landed 9 yards in.
Airmailed that one.
John Misko punting it away 47 yards. And so the 49ers will try again. No score in this game. A couple of boxers here in this game. Counterpunchers, you might say. 5:53 to go. Look at that. Now, I don't know what they have against number 96. That's Doug Barnett. It should be of the Rams. That's not Doug Barnett, by the way. That is.
Looks like he just came back with a game with the Redskins.
Yeah, what did he ever do to anyone to warrant that? Hanging from the upper deck with an arrow through him. Anyway, Montana on 1st and 10. And Bill Ring makes a terrific catch at the 25-yard line. And he had to extend himself fully. Carl Eckern on this tackle.
Well, watch the way Montana released this ball. He had a lot of pressure on him back in the backfield and had to throw it almost sidearm to get it through. Watch him drop down and throw it sidearm and put great touch on it out here to Ring.
Ring caught a pass for 24 yards earlier in the game. Pick up a 5, 2nd down and 5 at the 25 for San Francisco. Nearly 5 minutes remaining. Roger Craig with a head of steam, barrels to the 30, and appears to have another 1st down. Eckern again on the tackle. So Bill Walsh says we've got to have Roger Craig figure in this. Now, Carl Monroe is lost with a hairline fracture of the foot. Wendell Tyler's been out for a few weeks, so Craig is under pressure here as the rookie to give the 49ers, along with Bill Ring, the work on the ground.
Wendell Tyler has been great for the 49ers when he has been healthy. He'll be back next week, maybe in 2 weeks against the Rams for sure. They asked him this week, you probably really want to play this game against the Rams. He says, I do. He said, I got a 3-year contract here, though, so I know I'm going to get some more chances.
David Lewis, number 51, replaces Mel Owens, left outside linebacker. 1st and 10 at the 30 now, and here is Craig again. And he gets a few yards. Talking about Wendell Tyler, both teams, you may say, miss Wendell because, of course, the Rams don't have him. He scored 5 touchdowns against the 49ers in the 2 games last year, and, of course, the 49ers wish they had him in the lineup.
I fear with the Rams, you'd have to have 2 footballs.
Yeah, that was a good deal for them, you might say. Obtaining Houston's draft pick and going for Eric Dickerson, changing the face of this LA club. Montana 9 of 15 for 103 yards. Faces a 2nd down and 6 at the 34, and in a crowd drills it to Dwight Clark, who has a 1st down. You know, he's not amongst the league leaders right now, but if you compare what Clark has done after 5 games now and what he did after 5 games in '81, he is dead even in receptions coming in, and of course he was the NFL's leading receiver that year.
Now he's going to get his catches. He's in the slot right here. Now, most of the time, he doesn't have a definite pattern to run. He made a pivot right there, and Montana got the ball on him, but he goes down, reads the defenses, and then makes adjustments accordingly. The Rams do much the same thing.
He caught 13 the last 2 games. Cromwell made the tackle, as you saw. So it's 1st and 10 at the 43. For San Francisco, Montana getting out of a rush situation. Penalty flag is down, and Joe is going to head for the sideline. Lewis chases him. But the penalty flag is down, as we said. Time remaining, 2:32 in the 1st half. 0-0. Surprising turn as far as the scoreboard goes. And that'll go against San Francisco, the holding penalty.
Dick, you get the feeling now in this ball game that this is going to be a real grim-jawed game right down to the last couple minutes. The 49ers, the highest scoring team in the National Football League. The Rams have been putting points on the board.
The Rams as a team of Jake LaMotta's. They're not big, but they're physical and like to punch at you. And he says maybe he got a little annoyed with that.
Raging Rams.
Yeah, right. 1st and 20. Back at the 33. In motion is Eason Ramson, the 3rd tight end. And Bill Ring on a swing pass is hit by Carl Eckern at the 30-yard line. There is no question that the LA Rams are an active, hard-hitting defense. They're not a physical defense. John Robinson told us as we talked to him yesterday, the one thing we don't have is the one big stud on defense the other teams have to worry about.
Well, this is just as good as you can play a screen by a linebacker. He read it, ran through a block by number 68, John Ayers, and made the hit. Eckern grew up here in the Bay Area, just about 10 miles from this stadium.
We have our 2-minute warning right now, and Joe Montana is coming to the sidelines to talk things over with Bill Walsh. You can see the blood on his nose. He suffered a cut on the nose, bridge of it earlier, and of course he seems to be all right there. So our 2-minute warning taking effect right now here at Candlestick Park. Still no score as Bill Walsh, John Robinson have their charges out there in a tough game. This is a 2nd and 24 play in Montana to Roger Craig. Tackled at the 31-yard line. They've got to get to the 46 of the Rams. David Lewis, the former Tampa Bay performer and USC collegian. He was waived by San Diego. He was a starter at Tampa Bay, and of course John Robinson has Gary Jeter and David Lewis and several of his former mates, and there are a lot of them, as we've already mentioned, on the San Francisco team. There's Jeter. Bill Ring comes in the game. 3rd down and now 16 at the 37. The 49ers are 2 of 6 in 3rd down conversions so far today. Barely a minute remaining. Each team with a full complement of timeouts. And Montana gets hit, but gets it off to Eason Ramson. And Ramson gets it to the 46. Shy of a first down by some 8 yards. Monty Jackson, the nickelback, and the former L.A. Raider made the tackle. And Joe just got rid of it, Wayne.
Well, he's having problems finding his initial receiver open down there. The Rams are using 2 deep zones and then 5 zones underneath. So we've got the short stuff covered pretty well. And sticking with them pretty tight man-to-man in a kind of a man-to-man sense as they run through the zone. So Montana is really having problems finding people.
Leroy Irvin will be back to receive the kick. Montana now has completed passes to 9 different players today. Tom Morris from Ohio State and Miami is having a fine day, maybe his best day as a kicker for the 49ers. And they're going to let the clock run out here. And it's been a defensive battle. Reminds me of the Southeastern Conference defensive battles here. They're going to take a delay of the game with 3 seconds. Set it back 5 yards. I guess with Leroy Irvin back there, you don't want him to touch the ball in the last play of the half.
I'm not going to have much to say about it because he's going to get a chance to.
Number 7 offense.
I tell you, if the Rams do as good a job holding up at the line of scrimmage as they did on that last punt, they'll get something going.
Irvin, with the reputation of returning punts for touchdowns, is back at the 20. You know, Tom Morris is going to be trying to kick it away. Gets it away after the kick hit the ground, and here's Leroy Irvin. Irvin at the 25-yard line and will be dropped as the clock runs out. Eason Ramson makes the stop on Leroy Irvin, and that is the end of the first half here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. And the high-scoring 49ers have nothing, and the LA Rams have nothing, and we'll be back. In the NFC West, or the 49ers will have a 1-game lead over the Saints. And of course the 49ers and the Saints will square off at the Superdome next week. Wayne and I will be there for that contest as the NFC West turns into quite a battle royal even before the halfway mark of this year.
I think both coaches are saying right now, when we talk to them, John Robinson and Bill Walsh, that they feel that the NFC West is the strongest one in football right now.
McLemore on the left and Ring on the right will receive for the 49ers. Chuck Nelson kicking off for the first time. The Rams received at the start of the game, and there have been no scores. So Chuck Nelson, a rookie, 4th-round draft pick from the University of Washington. First time we've seen him. End over end, will not make the end zone, and Dana McLemore at the 2. He's hit at the 20. McLemore had been idled with a hamstring pull before this game. Ivory Sully makes the tackle. So here comes Montana, who is 13 for 19. Good percentage day, 126 yards, no TDs and no interceptions, has been sacked once.
What the Rams have done that's been extremely good for them is when times that Montana has broken the pattern and come rolling out of the pocket and stuff, they've stuck with the people downfield and made it tough for him.
He's got Bill Ring as his lone setback, and Craig is now in a wing-back position. And here's Bill Ring. Bill Ring going off the right side. Eric Harris forced the play nicely. And in fact, all of the Rams have forced the runs from the linebackers like Eckern to Eric Harris, who was acquired from Kansas City along with the quarterback Steve Fuller, was a 3-year starter for the Chiefs.
And he's got excellent size. He's about 6'3" and 205 pounds and can get up there and be physical against the run like he was that last time.
Bill Ring carried 4 times, now 5 in the ball game. 2nd down and 12. Loss of 2. Charlie Gidernay is in there at nose tackle. Pass is caught by Craig, who brings it out to the 29-yard line. Shy of a first down. Leroy Irvin and Carl Eckern in there, and Bill Walsh sending in 2 tight ends, Eason Ramson and Earl Cooper. There's Carl Eckern and Leroy Irvin, who made the play.
11 to the 30.
So it was an 11-yard pickup, but they needed 12. So it'll be 3rd and 1 now at the 30 for the 49ers. Ram defense playing awfully tough.
And have most of the season.
Three tight ends in there for the 49ers. And Earl Cooper goes in motion. He's the deep threat of the three. Play action pass, and Montana looking once, twice, and now Eric Harris almost intercepted that. In fact, he had it intended for Earl Cooper and dropped it, but he had that clean interception.
Now Montana was looking people off on that pass. Watch him here. Play action. Looks left. Goes middle. Waits a minute. Throws right there. Harris in great shape. It had the interception, and I think Cooper stripped the ball away.
So Montana comes up empty here, and on 4th down it'll be Tom Morris punting and Leroy Irvin there. Leroy Irvin had 3 touchdowns on punt returns in 2 games just 2 seasons ago. Good kick by Tom Morris. This is his best day as a punter for the 49ers. Irvin back at his 20, maybe hemmed in, and he's down. Fumble. And the Rams recover. It was Dana McLemore who made the first hit on Leroy Irvin, and they'll spot the ball just at the 25. Eric Harris recovered the ball. So the Rams will go on offense for the first time in the second half when we return. Rams have the ball, 1st and 10 now. The deepest penetration for the 2 teams. The 49ers got to the Ram 19 before they fumbled, and the Rams got to the San Francisco 39. This may be one of the worst field positions. First time the Rams have had the ball all game. Vince Ferragamo, 1st and 10 at the 24. David Hill is in motion, and Eric Dickerson breaks a couple of tackles, and he's off. Eric Dickerson to the 40, and Tim Collier wrestles him down at the 27-yard line, and there's your big play of the ball game. Eric Dickerson with the big play of the game. 49 yards.
Look at the hole over on the right side here now behind Dennis Hara and Jackie Slater. David Hill comes down. Dickerson isn't touched until right here in the secondary. That's what the 49ers were worried about, and you can see why he has averaged 129 yards a game this season for the Rams. Stop him for a while, but you're not going to do it all day.
And Dickerson had an 85-yard run for a touchdown against the Jets. This is for 49 yards, 1st and 10 at the 49er 27. And Barry Redden carries for the first time in the game and gets it inside the 25. A pickup of maybe 2.5 on the play. Dwayne Board and Pete Kugler up front make the tackle. So our first look at Barry Redden, who was the #1 draft pick last year, had a knee injury on the first day of camp. Pete Kugler, who was shaken up before, back in there from Penn State. His father is a former attorney general in the state of New Jersey. Second and 7 at the 24. Dickerson with 10 carries and 83 yards. Back in there after a breather. George Farmer in motion, and here's Eric. Inside the 20.
See those moves, those kind of sliding moves he makes, almost like he's roller skating through the line. Never has both feet off the ground at the same time. The great ones, they just don't teach this kind of movement right here. Watch these feet. He always maintains. He's always got his balance, and he can cut quickly and off each direction, off each foot.
Good block up front by Jackie Slater, who's having a great season, according to John Robinson. 3rd down and 1 at the 18. This is the greatest penetration by either side in this ball game. 10:44 remaining, 3rd quarter, no score. Eric Dickerson going wide, and Eric Wright carries him out of bounds. Short. Let's see where they spot it. They're very close, and I think we're going to have a measurement right here. Very close right now, and whatever it's going to be, it's a matter of inches. Eric Wright forced the play nicely as Dickerson went wide. If the Rams have made it, it would be their first successful 3rd down conversion in the game. They had failed the first 6 times. Let's see if they did make it. First down. The Rams pick it up, so they make good on a 3rd down conversion. And the center, Doug Smith, and the rest of that offensive line of Bain, Hill, Hara, and Jackie Slater got the job done, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 17. And the first real threat we have of scoring in this game, Wayne.
John Robinson likes this offensive line that you were talking about. He said they used to do a lot of trap blocking and pulling in the past, but in his system, they man-to-man block and have to stay with their blocks a little bit longer, and he said they're doing it extremely well.
Barry Redden, number 30, replaces Dickerson. And Mike Guman goes in motion. Ferragamo rolling out. Swings it out to David Hill. And Kugler is there. He breaks Kugler's tackle. He breaks Willie Harper's tackle. And David Hill, an express train, goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Ricky Ellison finally made the hit to stop him.
Misdirection, everything here by the Rams. Motion going left. Ferragamo rolls out left. David Hill holds a couple counts and filters out in the flat. Pete Kugler looks like he's in good shape here, but misses the tackle. And Hill's muscling for yardage.
John Robinson has a lot of confidence in David Hill. He was called for a couple of penalties in the Saints game in the first half. Stuck with him, came back, caught 4 balls, including a TD in the second. Dickerson is back. 2nd and 8. They're at the 15. No score. And here's Dickerson. Opening. Eric Dickerson is going to get in there. Touchdown, Rams.
The move he put on Tina Turner at the line of scrimmage was incredible. It was one of those things that we were talking about just a couple plays ago. How he's always in balance and can make these cuts. He's sensational. Number 29. Turner will be 58. He's out. And Hicks, he just put the speed onto him, number 22.
And the 10th touchdown of the year for Eric Dickerson, who really was the key on this drive with a 49-yard burst. And Chuck Nelson, who has missed 1 conversion, he is 14 for 15. Nolan Cromwell holds. Will try to add the 7th point to the Rams. And Nelson's kick is good. And so the Rams finally break the scoreless tie here in the 3rd quarter.
From another viewpoint here. Now watch him set up this block for his guard pull on Tina Turner. He makes that move, sets the block up, then uses his speed to get around the corner here and beat Hicks, number 22, to the corner of the end zone.
Eric Dickerson with a 15-yard touchdown run, and the rookie from SMU, who now has gained 71 yards on that drive, puts the Rams in front 7-0. Eric Dickerson, who has averaged 129 yards a game, now has 105 on 13 carries. So it doesn't take long, does it? Like you said,
he got him fast, and he had 34 at halftime.
And he had 71 of those 76 yards on the drive as the Rams lead at 7-0. And Chuck Nelson will be kicking off. Dana McLemore on the left and Bill Ring on the right for the 49ers. As the sun is dipped behind the clouds here at San Francisco, and Dana McLemore goes up the middle and almost had a chance of breaking it, and the man that stopped him was Monty Jackson. But a good return by Dana McLemore, who brings the ball out to the 26-yard line.
McLemore had a long punt return last year against the Rams, 93 yards, almost broke that one. Monty Jackson made a saver.
And he congratulatory hand from John Robinson. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line for Joe Montana. He has Craig and Ring in the backfield. Montana with a short drop, and White Clark is there. And it was Nolan Cromwell who tried vainly to get a hand on that ball, but Clark has it for a 1st down. Eric Harris knocked him out of bounds.
Cromwell made a great read here. Clark, number 87, the run and out pattern here. Number 21, with his head and eyes in the backfield, anticipated it, but it was just out of his reach. Good throw, good catch.
11-yard pickup, and only the 2nd reception of the game for Dwight Clark. Ball at the 37 of the 49ers. Play action, and Montana drills it. Freddie Solomon. What a superb throw and catch. How smooth Freddie Solomon is.
One of the quickest players in the league. He's in the slot right here. He's running a straight up pattern, no moves, in between the seams of his zone. Johnny Johnson comes over and secures him.
39-yard gain right there. Freddie Solomon, who likes his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, waiting for him on the desk of Shelley Wallman, the public relations secretary of the Niners, after every practice session, right?
It's an omen, a bad omen if he doesn't get it.
He gets awfully ornery, doesn't he? 1st and 10 at the 34. Montana is hot, and the pass intended for Clark is incomplete.
So I think that was a misconnection between Clark and Montana again that time, that he thought Clark was going to take it to the corner, and he was running a slant in. So the Rams are confusing him some.
Jimmy Collins, Johnny Johnson defending. Dwight Clark and Joe Montana, a familiar tandem. So far, Clark has caught 4 touchdown passes this season. You know, after 5 games of the 81 season, Clark hadn't caught any touchdown passes. Gary Jeter, number 77, is in the game. 2nd and 10 at the 34 of the Rams. Ring was hit at the line. Someone got a hand on him, and that slowed him up. Charlie Desjardins. He was activated this week, Desjardins, former San Diego Charger, and they feel that he brings the one element they don't have in the defensive line, and that is quickness. He is in his 7th year and was once a 17th round draft choice by the Chargers.
Got a lot of playing time in San Diego. Split between defensive tackle and defensive end down there. Played both spots.
Here's a 3rd and 8 for the 49ers. 7-0 Rams. Montana in trouble for the moment. Passes complete. And a fumble. The pass was complete, and the fumble is picked up by Johnny Johnson of the Rams. And he goes out of bounds finally. Eason Ramson caught the ball and then fumbled it. And it was Johnny Johnson, the free safety, who picked it up, and the 49ers, with their best drive of the game, again, comes up with a big 0.
Rams with a blitz on that time. Montana read it, got it out here to Ramson, who made the catch, and Monty Irvin came over and stripped the football out. Johnson picks it up and then does some work afterwards. Leroy Irvin, excuse me.
And Johnson said the best thing to do is just to step out of bounds, and so the 3rd San Francisco fumble has hurt him right here, and the Rams will take over when we come back. That'll be 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 Pacific, next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Dick, don't be surprised right here, because the Rams established the run tremendously well on that last possession of theirs with Eric Dickerson. That they don't go play action here. Sometime in this series, go play action and try to beat the 49ers deep with one of the wide receivers. Ferragamo can throw deep with anyone.
Well, he can throw that on a dime, can he? He's got a real strong arm. 1st and 10 at the 14. Barry Redden is the running back right now for the Rams, and Mike Gooman came in motion. Play action for Ferragamo, as you said, and he's got a lot of time. He lost this one, and with all the time he had, there had to be a mix-up in the receiving core. Henry Ellard appeared to be the intended receiver there.
He was looking for Ellard deep and did have all day, but nothing showed up downfield for him.
They like Henry Ellard. You're going to see him as a starter very soon in the Ram lineup. He likes to go deep, doesn't mind catching the ball in traffic. You need that speed. 2nd and 10 at the 14. 7-0. The Rams lead. We have 8 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker from Candlestick Park. David Hill in motion. Barry Redden, wide open up the middle, gets it out to the 35 and fumbles. And the whistle had blown. That is not a fumble. They'll spot the ball back at the 35. So Redden found a wide hole up the middle.
Look at the block here on the nose tackle, Kugler, by David Hill, number 81, coming in. Great block. That springs number 30 Redden downfield. So that's that motion back, that U-back that we've been talking about. Some of the things that he can do.
Why do they call it U-back?
Because he makes some U-turns. He starts in motion one way and then will U-turn sometimes and go back where he came from.
I won't ask you why the Falcons call it an H-back.
No, we won't even talk about that. I just call him a move back because he moves on almost every play.
Redden's gain of 21, his biggest gain of the year. Dickerson is back now, and Dickerson carries, and he too finds a hole up the middle and drives his way into 49er territory at the 48-yard line before Hacksaw Reynolds makes the stop. So right now the Rams are finding wide open holes up the middle, and it doesn't matter who's carrying
Chewing them up. And watch David Hill again. He came in here and there wasn't anybody to block. So he went headed upfield and got a block on the safety, Dwight Hicks.
16 yards for Dickerson, so that's 37 yards on 2 carries, one by Redden, one by Eric Dickerson, up the middle. And 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 48. Capacity crowd here at Candlestick Park. Rams lead it 7-0. Eric Dickerson cutting the other way. Tom Homo, and I think Dickerson slipped more than anything else. Willie Harper came over as well. Let's check on some scores while we have some time. And halftime, Dallas much closer than they figured, leading Tampa Bay by 4. Seattle over San Diego. Maybe the Chargers defense isn't going to get them to the playoffs. 21-7 at halftime. Kansas City, John Malkovich in his first year, leading the Raiders 17-7, and Philadelphia leading the New York Giants in the 3rd quarter 14-6. That's a big game in the NFC Eastern Division. Right now the Rams have 2nd and 6 at the 44-yard line. Ferragamo has time. He's going for Denard, and it's knocked away by Eric Wright. Fine play by Wright.
A great throw by Ferragamo, but just a great play, as you mentioned, Dick, by Eric Wright. Ferragamo perhaps throws that pattern better than anybody in the league. In that 20-yard range, he can get it on the money. He did right here. A real battle going on in there between those two guys, and Eric Wright just with a finger on it.
It is 3rd down and 6. The Rams have converted 1 3rd down situation in this game. At the 44 of San Francisco. 6:09 remaining. 3rd quarter. LA leading 7-0. Ferragamo going for Ellard, and he made the catch. He was hit by Collier but held on. Another terrific play by a receiver in this game on both sides, and Ellard has a 1st down.
Once again, the strength of Ferragamo's arm. He put it on a wire over here to Ellard, number 80, and had to because Collier was in pretty good shape. First ball they've caught on Collier today. He got there the same time the ball did, made a good hit, but great concentration by the rookie, Henry Ellard, who stayed right with it.
An 11-yard pickup for Henry Ellard, who broke his clavicle, it's like his collarbone, against the Giants with a diving catch out of Fresno State, 2nd-round pick. 1st and 10 at the 33 of San Francisco. Ferragamo taking one way, going up on top, and Ellard out of the end zone, caught the ball. Tim Collier was defending, and Ellard almost lost his footing totally back there. That pass was deep and long, but it was out of the end zone. Key plays on this drive so far are 2 running plays. Barry Redden up the middle for 21 and Eric Dickerson for 16. Now Ferragamo faced with a 2nd and 10.
He's had plenty of time to throw. The Rams offensive line, tackle to tackle, doing a great job. They have all afternoon, blocking well for the run, and now they're protecting extremely well for Ferragamo when he throws.
2nd and 10. 49ers have 23 sacks coming in this game, but they haven't touched Ferragamo in this one. Dickerson dropped. Pete Kugler.
Kugler, who had been burned a couple times by that play, the move back, David Hill came down and blocked him again that time, but Kugler that time was up to the task, took it on and made the tackle.
We want to remind you that next week it'll be the 49ers and the Saints who beat the Falcons on the final play. They're off to their best start in history at 4-2, and so the 49ers will journey to the Superdome to face the Saints next Sunday on CBS Sports. 3rd and 10 at the 33 with 4:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Look for a blitz here from the 49ers.
Here they come. The quick pass is caught by Gordon Jones. And Jones is hit inside the 25, short of a first down by less than a yard. And you can credit Dwight Hicks and Ron Ferrari with preventing the Rams from getting a first down on that play.
Okay, they're close to it, though.
From here, it looks as if they're short by less than a yard.
They're going to have to bring it out and take a look because they're extremely close to the first down.
It would be fourth down if they don't make it. Obviously, if they do, then they've got a new set and moving the ball nicely.
Need decision time if they're short for John Robinson, and they are.
Fourth down.
It's going to go for the 3.
And that means Chuck Nelson. Chuck Nelson, who is 3 for 6 in the field goal department. His longest has been 36 yards. Let's see where they'll try this one from.
Be about a 40-yarder for him, Dick. 40 or 41 yards.
It'll be a 40-yard attempt. You're right. He missed one from 40. He's also missed one from 47 this year. So this is one of the longer ones he's attempted. It'll actually be 41 yards. Cromwell will hold, trying to put the Rams up 10-0 on 4th and 1. Chuck Nelson. Attempt. It's long enough, and it is good. Chuck Nelson with a 41-yard field goal has given the Rams a 10-0 lead over the 49ers with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter, and that should boost this young man's confidence.
No, he drilled it. That one would have been good for about 10 more yards, perhaps longer than that. He knew it the minute he got to it here. Good set by Cromwell, strings away. He hammered it, and he knows it.
Well, it's a Ram kind of game. They're leading 10-0, and they've kept the Niners off the board. John Henry, horse racing's all-time leading money winner, will tell you about the Jockey Club Gold Cup coming up after this return. Next Saturday on CBS, Dana McLemore and Bill Ring back, and Chuck Nelson, who just kicked a 41-yard field goal, the longest of the season, and that means his career. Give the Rams a 10-0 lead. This one flies over to the right, and it's Ring at the 1. Hit hard at the 15-yard line by Howard Carson. John Henry, horse racing's all-time leading money winner and Kentucky Derby winner Sonny's Halo, expected to lead a strong Jockey Club field. And what happens in the Champaign State?
Devil's Bag, that 2-year-old we were talking about, who has become a leading candidate, even though he's a late starter for Horse of the Year honors, as expected. So 2 very special races on CBS.
4 o'clock Eastern, 2 Pacific next Saturday. Looking at the rushing, 49ers have gained only 38 yards. Dickerson 124. The Rams had only 38 yards rushing in the first half, but they have 116. And Dickerson, of course, the key. Bill Ring gets a hand as he comes off the field. No one was ever going to have to take him off. He's tough.
Howard Carson almost took him out with that tackle on that kickoff. Ring was down for a while.
So the 49ers starting from their 16-yard line. Jeff Moore's in the game. First time he's seen action. And Montana's pass to Earl Cooper, the tight end. And Nolan Cromwell rides him to the 37-yard line. Coop, they're yelling.
Cooper, we told you, played fullback, was switched this year in training camp to tight end, catches the ball wide open over the middle. And with those long strides of his, eats up the ground. You see Dwight Clark downfield getting the block.
21-yard gain on that play. 3:06 to go, third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Niners at their own 37-yard line. Bill Ring is back in the game, along with Roger Craig, the backs. And here is a play action. Montana running, and Youngblood gets him from behind. So there's Jack Youngblood, the 12-year veteran, trying to adjust and adjusting well, I guess, to the 3-4.
Youngblood working against Keith Fahnhorst, number 71. Youngblood left ear screen. Montana play action here. It doesn't fool anybody. Starts to break down for him, and he bails out. And Youngblood, still with great quickness after 13 years in the league, hauls him down from behind.
Second sack of the day for the Rams. Ferragamo has escaped any of that. Second down 15 at the 32. 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. 10-0 in favor of the Rams. Montana going up top for Freddie Solomon and overthrows. Closest to the ball was Eric Harris.
Eric Harris was almost the intended receiver on that pass. He had about 3 or 4 strides on Solomon, and Montana overthrew them both.
Montana is now 18 for 27 for 213 yards. 49ers have been hurt by 3 fumbles, one particularly here in this third quarter when they were moving the ball in their best drive of the day.
That was by the tight end Eason Ramsey. Johnny Johnson recovered it for the Rams. Big turnover.
Third down and 15. Montana is hit as he lets it go, and Eason Ramsey has it. He is tackled by Mel Owens. He is shy of a first down by a good 5 or 6 yards. So a good rush by Reggie Doss. Montana got it away, but it'll be fourth down anyway.
Yeah, watch the shot that Doss got on Montana here now. He came in untouched from the right side, practically like he was on a blitz. He'll show up right side of your screen, going full speed. Watch the shot that Montana takes. That's what they call earholing somebody, because when they get up, they're looking out of the earhole of their helmet.
Tom Morris back to kick. Leroy Irvin is back for the Rams. Final minute and a half of this third quarter, and a good high kick by Tom Morris, and Irvin's going to let it bounce. And it'll bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Keep in mind what we told you at the very outset of this game, that the Rams have lost to the 49ers only one time here in San Francisco in the last 16 years. That's one of the amazing records of teams in the past. 56-yard punt. We'll be back. And you can see the contrast in total offense from the first half to the second half, and you can thank Mr. Dickerson for that. Tom Morris, by the way, is having his best day of the year, is averaging 50 yards on his punts this afternoon. There he is with Ray Wersching. Hasn't had a chance to do much except kick off the opening game. First and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Rams. Eric Dickerson is the running back. Ferragamo to the air to Dickerson. And brought down by Tom Holmoe, the 4th-round draft pick out of Brigham Young University. Let's pick up some scores now. The Raiders coming close, now trail Kansas City 17-14.
Seattle looking for their second win this season over San Diego.
I got you 1 minute.
We'll be at the Superdome next week, and if this score holds up, this game could be for first place in the NFC West. But we have plenty of time to go. 50 seconds in the third quarter. Eric Dickerson going wide. And Jim Stuckey got a hand on him. Eric Dickerson, who rambled 49 yards to set up the 15-yard touchdown in which he scored his 10th TD of the year earlier in this third quarter to make it 7-0. They'll need an equipment adjustment right there.
Hey, when you're a defensive player and you're playing against a guy like Eric Dickerson, Dick, what happens every time he touches the ball, you get a shot of adrenaline and your heart goes up to your mouth, because you know if you don't get over there and really hustle and get at the point of attack, he's liable to break it. It's a scary feeling every time the man right there touches the ball for the 49er defense.
Barry Redden replaces him for this play. 3rd and 6 at the 24. And in motion, Henry Ellery. And here's Barry Redden. Redden has the first down, and they can't bring him down. Dwight Hicks finally does, but not before. On a 3rd and 6, Barry Redden rambles forward to the 41-yard line, and the Rams keep the ball with another first down on a 17-yard pickup.
Great block by Jackie Slater, the right tackle. Watch him loop out and get Keena Turner, number 58 here. Kick him out. Redden comes up behind that. Slater, one of the most underrated players in the National Football League. The 49ers took a poll, and they were asked who was the most underrated player on the other teams. Almost half of them on defense said Jackie Slater, number 78. They have a lot of respect for him.
He's averaging 14 yards per carry, and as a college senior, the only backs who to gain more yards in his college career in that last year. Herschel Walker of Georgia and Marcus Allen of USC. So that's the end of the third quarter here at Candlestick Park with a score. The Rams 10, the 49ers nothing. We now pause for a word from your local station. Along with Wayne Walker, this is Dick Stockton from Candlestick Park in San Francisco as we start the fourth quarter. The LA Rams lead the San Francisco 49ers 10-0, and that man is one of the big reasons, if not the reason, Eric Dickerson. It is a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Ferragamo under pressure fires this pass, and it's caught by Denard. Preston Denard at the 40-yard line has a first down. Eric Wright on the tackle.
We'll see Denard run the pattern here, isolated against Eric Wright, number 21. He takes it down and then runs to the post on him. And keep in mind that while all this is going on, Ferragamo is getting tremendous protection again from the Rams offensive line. They are controlling this game right now.
And they're also allowing the Rams to average over 8 yards a rush. So they're doing it both ways, the offensive line is, as they did against the Lions last week when they controlled the line. 1st and 10 at the 40. Dickerson was tripped up by Keena Turner. Just got there before Dickerson almost got the ball.
Dennis Hara on the pull, and Turner got in under him to make the stop. Number 60 is Hara out in front, and you see Turner get around and kind of under him and get an arm out and stop Dickerson. You don't see Dickerson come down too many times just with an arm tackle, but he did that time.
Jim Stuckey replaces Lawrence Pillars up front for the 49ers. It is 2nd and 12 at the 42 now for Ferragamo. Ferragamo's pass thrown, and Gooman was the intended receiver. He had overrun the ball. Coming up next week on CBS, the NFL season heats up. A doubleheader game will open it up with the 49ers against the Saints, and it could be a battle for the NFC Western lead. It all starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern.
Later on, it'll be Philadelphia, Dallas, or Atlanta at these Los Angeles Rams.
All starts there 3:30 Eastern for that Sunday doubleheader. 3rd and 12 at the 42. Ferragamo gets rid of it. Overthrown. Gordon Jones was the intended receiver, and it'll be incomplete. So the 49ers hold, and a good pass rush by Keena Turner on the blitz. What do you make of the Saints?
Well, I think the Saints are a good football team. The Rams know that from that second game. That was a great football game between the Rams and New Orleans that we saw at Anaheim, Dick. And that game just ended. There really wasn't a dominant team in that one. The Rams were ahead when it was over.
John Misko punting. He's had a good day, as has Tom Morris. Going for inside the 20. Bounces at the 5 and into the end zone for a touchback. George Rogers back in action in this game, and the Rams, or the 49ers, hope that Wendell Tyler will be back next week, and that should make for an interesting battle on its own. The crowd is urging on the 49ers, who will take over on the 20 when we come back. Well, the San Francisco 49ers, the highest scoring team in the NFL, have been held scoreless by the LA Rams in a superb defensive effort. We have 13:22 remaining in the fourth quarter, and it's 1st and 10 at the 20. And in motion is the tight end Earl Cooper. Montana going for Dwight Clark at the 29. Close to a first down. Leroy Irvin right there to make the tackle. Of course, the Rams, now that Pat Thomas and Rod Perry are no longer there, have Kirk Collins and Leroy Irvin. Collins with a sore throat not playing, and Eric Harris at left corner. Irvin made the tackle on that play. It's 2nd and less than a yard. Wouldn't be surprised to see Joe and Dwight hook up a few times, huh?
I think he's going to start looking for him originally.
2nd, less than a yard at the 29. Freddie Solomon comes out left, and now Cooper lines up in the backfield. Bill Ring, first forward, making Roger Craig to the 42-yard line. Craig. And there was the kind of a hole up front that the Rams are used to having today.
Randy Cross and Fred Quillen. Cross is a guard. Number 51, you see him blocked down on the nose tackle. Good job by John Ayers up there. And Quillen, 56, the center.
14-yard pickup, and that's the longest run from scrimmage for Roger Craig this year. First and 10 at the 42. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Montana dumps it off to Russ Francis, who can't hold on. That'll go as an incompleted pass. And Russ has really had his problems holding onto the ball even after he makes the catch or as he makes it.
Took a pretty good shot that time. And that brought him off to football. He's had these problems. We're talking about Russ Francis fitting into the offense here because last year he had a bad back, missed almost all of training camp. This year he broke his hand, same thing. So he's been getting on the job experience in the ball games with the San Francisco offense and just doesn't match up that good with Montana right now.
2nd and 10 now at the 42. In motion goes the speedster Ronaldo Nehemiah. And here comes the blitz. Andrews is after Montana, who throws it away. And that was a smart play on Joe Montana's part because he had nowhere to go, and Andrews had a free rein.
It's been an extremely fine defensive scheme by the Rams today.
We have a holding penalty on top of that against San Francisco. Ten to nothing, the Rams lead. A victory would force a three-way tie in the NFC West, with the Saints and the 49ers all would be 4-2. Jerry Seaman.
Holding, number 71, offense.
Keith Farnhorst, the right tackle. Well, next Saturday, CBS will have more exciting NCAA college football action for you. And Texas-Arkansas, a big rivalry.
Virginia Tech versus West Virginia.
Oregon State, Joe Cap's California Golden Bears. Plus other regional action. Texas with a big win over Oklahoma yesterday. It all begins with the NCAA Today, live 12 Eastern. Montana on 2nd down. First down into Ram territory. Freddie Solomon at the 45-yard line. A 24-yard play to Freddie Solomon, who was part of a 39-yard play earlier. So he has indeed, even though the Niners haven't scored, been part of 2 big plays today.
It's a fine catch he made, a leaping catch. Both feet off the ground, going over the middle. That's tough for any wide receiver.
He's in his 9th year. Freddie Solomon, quiet, soft-spoken receiver. 1st and 10 at the Ram 44. Russ Francis goes in motion. 10-0 in favor of LA. Montana hits Clark again. And Clark is down to the 35 by Carl Eckert. The last time the Niners had a drive going, they coughed it up on a fumble.
Mixing in the short passes to Clark on this one with the one downfield to Solomon. And in the past, the 49ers in this situation will throw a run or two at you. They prefer a sweep in short yardage situations, believe it or not.
Last time the 49ers were shut out was 3 years ago by the Giants here, 12-0. 2nd and 1 at the 35. And movement in the line. Were they drawn off or did the Rams go? Let's watch to see if Randy Cross drew him off or what.
False start, number 51, offense.
It was Cross. 5 yards against San Francisco.
False start, number 51, offense.
Gary Jeter, the former New York Giant, who comes in as the 4th down lineman in pass rushing situations, is there now with 2nd down and 6 at the 40. Montana 22 of 32. 266 yards. Roger Craig cutting inside. Gets to the 35. He's very close to a first down. Monty Jackson makes the stop on him. Roger Craig, who's having his best day right now. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York for an NFL Today update. Find out what's going on.
Dick Phil Simms is now quarterbacking the Giants. He replaced Scott Brunner. Here's Butch Woolfolk, more effective inside the tackles. And now the Giants have pulled it within a point of the Eagles. Let's go back to Dick and Wayne.
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Craig now has gained 41 yards. That's a per carry average of 3.4, just about what he's done going into this game. Third and less than a yard after 35. Eason Ramson in motion. And a quarterback sneak will give the 49ers a first down. There's the rookie from Nebraska. You know, the Rams, because of circumstances, have been able to avoid the likes of George Rogers, who got hurt in the Saints game, Freeman McNeil, who got hurt in the game with the Jets, Billy Sims, who didn't play for the Lions last week, and Wendell Tyler this week. But their defense would have stopped anybody today. First and 10 at the 33. Montana, and a safety blitz gets it off to Eason Ramson, who holds on and is stopped by Jimmy Collins in a pickup of just about 7 yards.
Blitz from the outside that time, and it was picked up extremely well. Eric Harris, number 26, came in, actually from his right cornerback position. Craig, number 33, spots it, makes the block, and Montana unloads it to Eason Ramson, who doesn't get a lot of playing time at tight end for 49ers, but when he does, performs well.
He's in his 5th year, and somehow we see him play a lot in every game, don't we?
Played behind Charlie Young here for a couple years. Now he's behind Francis and Cooper.
Second down and 3. Montana unloads it, and Clark holds on. First down inside the 20.
Any wonder why Montana likes to throw to him? Clark is 6'4", big for a wide receiver, got great range, good athletic ability. Montana had to throw it up over a blitzing George Andrews. Clark controlled it. Sensational concentration.
He has caught 5 balls today for 45 yards.
See that pivot? He looked inside. It was covered there. He pivoted out.
First and 10 on the 19 now. 10-0. The Rams lead. Montana going for points and overthrows and almost picked off by Eric Harris. Dwight Clark was the intended receiver, and Montana took a lick, as the Rams are playing a punishing defense in many phases of the game today. There's Harris.
Youngblood back there applying the pressure. DeJournay.
7 minutes 34 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. The 49ers need 2 scores. They're trailing 10-0. Earl Cooper is checked in, and Bill Ring goes out. The Rams defense has been nothing short of sensational today against the highest scoring team in the league. Solomon is out to the right and Clark to the left. Second and 10. And it's Roger Craig. Hit once. Craig inside the 15 and gets to the 12. Nolan Cromwell and Eric Harris bring down the rookie, and it looks like he's finally cooking.
Runs in behind Randy Cross, the right guard, and Keith Fahnhorst, the right tackle. Fahnhorst blocking on Youngblood over there. Fahnhorst says that Youngblood is very, very difficult to get a hit on because he twists and squirms. But he got a little bit of him that time.
Bill Ring comes in with the play from the bench, and Clark will go out. 3rd and 2. And the way this game is going, this you'd have to say is an important 3rd down for San Francisco. Bill Ring forward, and it'll be close. Carl Eckern, who else is there on the inside play?
Then what do you do here? If you're Bill Walsh, and it is short, it's almost a sure 3 points for Ray Wersching. But you take the 3 and maybe not get down there again like this for the 7, or do you go for it on 4th down and try to get the 7 now?
Well, I would think if you haven't scored, you want to get something.
Well, you might not get in this close again, but he's bringing Wersching in.
Well, he's going with a hot kicker, I'll tell you that. Ray Wersching is a perfect kicker this year. 8 for 8 in the field goal department, 20 for 20 in conversions. His longest was last week against the Patriots, 45 yards.
Now what you're doing over there on defense now, Dick, they're saying don't anybody be offsides, no penalties on this. Can't give the 49ers a first down.
Now the 49ers have called a timeout. Their first of the 3 that they have. here in the second half, and we will take a timeout. 6 minutes 33 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. 10-0 LA. Ray Wersching has come off the field, and now the 49ers are going to go for it. They talk him out of it.
They must have talked Bill Walsh out of it or into it from upstairs, because they called the timeout, and now they're going to go for it here on 4th and about a foot.
They're at the 10-yard line. And Bill Ring gives him a first down and more at the 5. You know the crowd wanted him to go for it.
Well, I really think when on second thought, when he thought about it, he realized it was probably the smartest thing to do. They might not get this deep again, so they better try to get the 7 points on this trip downfield. Look at that offensive line. They're doing right there what the Rams have been doing most of the day, kicking out and controlling the line of scrimmage, and Ring, who's like a human bowling ball, running up in behind it.
It is a 1st and 10 at the 5-yard line. Bill Ring barreling through, but now the Niners have to make good and score here. Earl Cooper goes in motion. Montana rolling out. His receivers are covered. Now he's going to run it. And he'll settle for a 1-yard gain. And the Rams just blanketed all of the San Francisco receivers who were in the end zone.
And then with great quickness, Eckern and Collins and Johnny Johnson reacted and came back over with Montana on the scramble. Roll out right off the bat. Nothing there. Good coverage downfield. It looks good right now for Montana, but this Ram defense reacted tremendously fast to get him down here. Leroy Irvin there, number 47 also.
And Dwight Clark is coming with the play. 2nd down and goal at the 3. Here's Roger Craig. He's in for the touchdown. Took a while for the highest scoring team in the NFL to get on the board, didn't it?
It's a good cutback that time by Craig.
2nd NFL touchdown by Roger Craig. Ray Wersching adds the point after. And it's a 10-7 ball game with 4:52 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Bubba Paris, John Ayers, Eason Ramsey, Bill Ring on the lead, but Craig cuts up inside and makes a lunging effort across the goal line.
The San Francisco 49ers on Roger Craig's touchdown have drawn to within 10-7 in the 4th quarter. We'll be back for the Niners kickoff after this. It was a gamble. At first, Bill Walsh sent in Ray Wersching for 3 points on a 4th and 1, and then he sent in the regular offense, and Bill Ring got the first down, and then Roger Craig got the touchdown. And Wersching, who kicked the conversion, will now kick off to the Rams. It's a 10-7 game.
Craig, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Dick, hasn't been inspired some today by the rookie on the other side of the field, Eric Dickerson.
They were talking before the game in the end zone, and I think one can inspire the other. I think you're right. So Wersching will kick off. Barry Redden, 7 yards in the end zone, and they'll take it out at the 20.
This is a touchdown again by Craig. The toss from Montana, and then the cut back inside. What you're going to like now is this rookie's reaction when he gets up. He knew that this one meant a lot to his ball club and to him. Yeah.
Take that. 10-7, and now the crowd is churned up several notches on a beautiful afternoon in the Bay Area as Joe Montana talks to the men upstairs.
But at the point of the ball game now, where John Robinson has a lot of faith in his team, he thinks that they can control this game in this situation with the good offensive line and running in behind it with Dickerson and Redden.
Dickerson has 121 yards in the game. And here's Eric. He gets by one, and then he's hit by Ellison and Bobby Leopold. The clock is running, and it favors the Rams now, and they're going to have to pin their hopes on ball control.
Jim Stuckey, number 79, the defensive end, played that extremely well. He was the one with the big penetration right here off the bat. Couldn't get Dickerson down, and then everybody else showed up. 47, Collier, 69, Ellison, and 45, Bobby Leopold.
Gain of 1. It is 2nd and 9. Bill Walsh hoping the defense can hold and the Niners can get the ball again. The ball is at the 21. And Ferragamo to the air has Mike Barber as tight end and a first down at the 35. And a big play for the Rams. Willie Harper and Bobby Leopold make the stop.
They blitz the inside linebacker, number 69, Ricky Ellison, on this. Normally he would be back right in this hook zone where Ferragamo wanted to throw, but he came in on the blitz and it was wide open to Barber.
And that will help the Rams and chew up the clock. 3.5 minutes now remaining in the fourth quarter. 10-7. The Rams lead the 49ers. LA looking to move into a three-way tie for first place. They need to win this game. Dickerson. And holding on was Tina Turner to slow him up and allow some of his friends come in like Ricky Ellison. The clock continues to run, and there the two hope they can get another chance. Clark and Montana.
Normally in this situation, Dick, you'd see the 49ers out there with their nickel defense, but they know that Los Angeles is more apt to run here than not.
John Robinson with victories over the Giants and the Saints and the Lions. Losses to the Packers and the Jets. Tom Holmoe is in at strong safety. Leopold goes out. 2nd down and 6. They're at the 39. Using up the clock some more. Dickerson. And he is close to a first down and may have it at the 45. Dwayne Board caught him around the middle. The clock continues to run, and if the Rams get another first down right here, they will seemingly be in good control here, and it is a first down for the Rams. Timeout Story. The 49ers have 2 remaining, and the Rams all 3 of theirs.
That's what John Robinson wants to do. He wants to physically dominate a team, especially in the fourth quarter. His USC Trojans were noted for that, and he wants this team to be the same way.
And the 49ers are forced to call another timeout. It leaves them with 1, so they're not in very good position right now. The Rams are. 10-7 the score. 2:07 showing on the clock. We'll be back. Timeout Story, and the 49ers with their backs to the wall right there. Eric Dickerson has 134 yards today, and that's more than his average of 129 a game, and he would set an NFL record with over 2,000 yards if he continues at this pace.
He stays healthy, and there's just no way they're going to prevent him from breaking George Rogers' rookie record. That's for sure.
Right.
2,000 is another matter because it's a long season, but he sure looks capable, doesn't he?
And he's kind of healthy. They say that he's 23. The next day he gets up like nothing happened. He doesn't show any effects of being beaten up. 2 tight ends in there now for the Rams. 1st and 10 at the 45, and Barry Redden in the game gets a couple. And now we're going to have the clock stop with a 2-minute warning. So the 2-minute warning is in effect right now. The Rams lead it. They want to control it. The 49ers need to get the ball back, and when they do, they'll only have 1 timeout, and they hope they're only 3 down when they do. John Robinson's team is looking good right now. Well, it's a ball control story, and the Niners have to get it back, Wayne.
Well, and a lot will depend on what they do on this very next down. If they get the Rams stopped right here in good shape with a very short gain, they may use that other timeout.
I guess if there's a team that can manage without a timeout on offense, maybe the 49ers are one of those teams.
They do the 2-minute drill as good as anybody in football. That's been proven historically in the past 2 or 3 years by them. But the way this Ram defense is playing today, I don't know.
2nd down and 9 at the 46. Rams in their own 46. Dickerson trying to go outside. Look at that. he took tacklers an extra 3 or 4 yards and came awfully close to a first down. Ricky Ellison finally gets credit, and they'll stop the clock at 1:51. But actually, they had Dickerson after a 3-yard gain, and he went an extra 4.
And he's just a great talent. That's what John Robinson talked about him earlier in the season, saying how he finishes off a run. He seems to attack the tacklers right at the last instance and explode into them and pick up that extra yardage. He is a sensational talent.
49ers have used up their last timeout. They have none left. And when we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 1. And it may all hinge on this one play when we come back. The preceding message was brought to you by the National Football League. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker, the story right there, part of it anyway. 49ers are out of timeouts, 1:51 to go. But more important, with the score 10-7 Rams, it's 3rd and less than a yard. You can focus all your attention right here on this play. Redden is the up back. Gooman in motion. And they may have stopped him. Robert Alexander, carrying the ball, may have been stopped by the 49ers, of course. And they were. It's 4th down. Now if you're John Robinson,
you kick. Everybody down low in the front part. Look at the 2 linebackers, Ellison and Reynolds up on top, and Ellison made the initial hit in the stop.
Robert Alexander is stopped, and it is 4th down. They're letting the clock run. 1:24 to go. And it appears that they're going to take a delay of the game here to let some time move off. Misko is in good position on punting anyway, and he just wants to, and the delay of game penalty goes into effect. 5-yard penalty against the Rams will just set the ball back to the 49. But at least the 49ers, on that terrific defensive play, will have a chance once more.
It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? Where great effort on both sides all afternoon. There's been no letdown in this ball game from the opening kickoff.
Misko will punt from the 35, and Dana McLemore is back at the 12. And if he can't find anything, you can be sure he'll be heading for the sidelines to stop the clock. 1:13 remaining in the 4th quarter. It's 10-7, the Rams over the 49ers. He's averaged, Misko, more than 45 yards a kick today. Used up a lot of time. McLemore inside his 15. And McLemore is down at the 29-yard line with 1:02 remaining. And Otis Grant having a bit of a problem right now with Jesse Sapolo, a couple of rookies. But it's all up to Montana and company right here, Wayne.
Montana and company and Ray Wersching on the sideline if they get close enough.
The 49ers have no timeouts remaining. They start from the 30. Mike Wilson, Freddie Solomon, Dwight Clark, and Joe Montana. Passes to Clark, heading for the sideline. At the 39, call it the 40. Johnny Johnson runs him out of bounds, and the clock stops with that much time remaining, 55 seconds.
And I don't think Montana was looking anywhere else but at that man right there, number 87, the minute the ball was snapped. He went back in the pocket, head and eyes to the right, stepped up because he was getting some pressure from Youngblood, and got it to Clark.
It's amazing, but the 49ers have only 1 win in the last 16 games against the Rams here in San Francisco. And they're trailing here. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Montana has to go to the air. This time he finds Clark again. And Clark is at midfield. 49ers will hurry up. They've got to set it up in a hurry. Montana has called the play. 39 seconds. They want to get in field goal range. Montana fires it away. Stop the clock with 31. Wersching is 8 for 8 this year. He had the big miss last year. Now, where do the Niners, Wayne, have to get the ball so that Wersching, comfortably or otherwise, has a chance to tie the game?
45 yards or in for him. He can get there with no problem from 45 yards out. And this is one of those fairly rare days, I think, at Candlestick, Dick. There's not a lot of wind out here this afternoon.
.31 seconds. Montana, who has completed 26, completes to Clark out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and 25 seconds remain. The drama is excruciating here at Candlestick Park.
What Montana can squeeze out of nothing is just incredible. He's in trouble back here in the pocket now. Clark running against the linebacker, takes it outside. Montana on a dead run, got the ball to him on the money and allowed him to get out of bounds.
If Wersching is to try a 45-yarder, that means he has to kick from the 35. They've really got to get to the 25-yard line.
They've got to pick up about another 10 yards to get within his range.
1st and 10, but that's not the important thing. They're at the 39, and a swing pass to Roger Craig, and it's incomplete. Incomplete to Craig. Nolan Cromwell on the hit. 20 seconds remain.
Cromwell really closed on that play. Montana wanted to go downfield originally, but he's getting some pressure. Good penetration by there. Some people with their hands up and had to throw it before he wanted to. Won't see anybody right there now, but look at number 21 come over.
Nehemiah and Ring have come in the game. Wersching waiting on the sidelines. He's had a perfect year, and he just wants to try one. 20 seconds remain. No timeouts left. 4 front linemen for the Rams. Jeter, Desjardins, Youngblood, and Doss. And there is Montana with a quick toss to Clark. And does he get out of bounds? No, he doesn't. The clock runs on the 33. 11 seconds. And Montana's going to have to hurry. And he'll stop the clock right there with 3 seconds to go. And no choice. Wersching's got to come in and try it here.
Let me tell you about him. He is probably kicking stronger this year, and I don't mean for accuracy, than he ever has. Last year during the offseason was the first time that he spent an extensive amount of time strengthening his leg. He daily would kick in a swimming pool. He said it's helped his strength tremendously, kicking against the water.
This would be the longest field goal attempt he's ever made. 51 yards. 50 was his longest. Montana holds. It's blocked. And Cromwell has it, and the Rams have won it. And the LA Rams, Ivory Sully, who blocked Wersching's kick last year to prevent the 49ers from getting into the playoffs,